Hey, Greer. I had heard that as a kid in elementary school, you randomly out of the blue asked your grandparents for a Notre Dame hoodie, and they don't know where that came from. So I'm wondering if you could explain where that came from.
Yeah, so I think that from an early age, I was just kind of like always intrigued with Notre Dame and the prestige behind it. And so one Christmas, I just kind of said, hey, I really want a Notre Dame sweatshirt, and that's what I got from them. And I think I still have it at my house, but it just goes to show that, like, I've always loved this place. I still love this place, and that's going to be really emotional for me after this game to, walk off that field my last game.
In North Carolina, were you the only person with that fandom, or did you have allies with that?
So it was just kind of me, but like I just remember like growing up, my dad and I like every Saturday would watch as many college football games as possible. So it wasn't specifically Notre Dame only. It just that for some reason I kind of was drawn to Notre Dame, and so I always watched their games, always wore that green sweatshirt.
Well, when you think back on the memories you've had in Notre Dame Stadium, is there a game or a memory or a play that sticks out?
So I don't think it's just one play. I think it's just there's going to be so many different things going through my head. But I think that one memorable moment definitely was my freshman year when we beat Stanford, that last-second pass to Koyak. I think that's one of those moments that kind of stands out the most to me.
What do you think Saturday is going to feel like? Is it just going to feel like another game in the moment, or do you think it's going to feel different than the ones that before?
So I think that is definitely going to feel different. But, I mean, as a player, I want to leave that stadium playing the best game I've ever played as a senior, just go out on the right note. So I think that you got to channel all of that different emotion that goes into running out, seeing your family, all that different stuff, and kind of get ready to play.
With it being Navy, and obviously your first start was against Navy, you kind of made your name against Navy. Is it kind of fitting that it's Navy for your last game in that stadium?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. It's always been kind of a good game for me. That's kind of what my first couple of years did was play the triple option, and so it's definitely fitting, I think.
Hey, Greer, right up the middle here. After what did happen on Saturday, just what's the mindset of this team after that one?
So I think it definitely it was a tough loss for all of us, but we had a couple of days to kind of dwindle over it, but now it's time about getting back. We still have a lot to play for. There's a bright future for this team. We went out these next 2 games. We'll be in a great bowl game. So I think that the attitude is that we got to tell all the guys, look, we still got something to play for. And definitely, like, moving forward, we got 26 seniors on this team. Like, I think as an underclassman, it was always my goal on senior day to get those seniors a victory, and I think that's a big goal on our the list this week.
And with national championship chances a little bit slimmer now, is the goal shifted a little bit more now to, say, a 10-win season or a New Year's Six bowl game for you
No,
guys?
I don't think so. I think that the legacy of the senior class was to get Notre Dame on the right track again. Obviously, after 4-8 season, it was our goal to kind of bring back the prestige to Notre Dame. And I think that as seniors, we want to finish out strong. The rest of the team does. So not even if it's the college football playoffs this year, it's like continuing on to the next years and kind of creating a culture at Notre Dame that's going to last.
And defensively for you guys, what's going to be the key to stop Navy's offense this week?
I think discipline. I think that, you got to be at the right place at the right time against an offense like this, and if you're not, they exploit you. So it's all about playing fundamental football and executing.
Greer, over here. Coach Kelly talked about earlier this year during the off week that you did get a little preparation in for Navy because it's not a defense that you see, or it's not an offense that you see every week. Tell me how that would be helpful and what specifically are the tough things that you have to do against a Navy or an option team?
Yeah, I think that against an offense like Navy's, it's tough to get prepared in just 1 week because it's such a unique offense. Not something that we see, every day. And so it takes adjustments with whatever plan you have. It's a different defense you got to run against them. So I think it lies in, becoming familiar with the different plays. And then it's so fast. By the time the ball's snapped, you got to be able to understand where you're going and go at it really fast and execute at a high level.
And you guys have, had some success, and sometimes you haven't against Navy. What is it about a Navy football player that makes it tough to play against?
I mean, these guys will come at you for 4 quarters. They have a relentless effort, and so like the mindset you bring to the game has got to be a physical one. And I think we have all the athletes and capability to be successful against them on Saturday. It's just a matter of what mentality you bring to the game, and these guys are the guys that are going to serve for our country and kind of have that resilience to them. So I think that's the biggest thing about Navy.
Greer, Coach Kelly's talked about how the importance of just refocusing this week after Miami. What is that process like? How do you refocus after that game?
Yeah, so I think obviously it's a really tough game to leave Miami, come back here. We got back late. You have all the distractions from every which way that Notre Dame brings. But I think that what he's talking about is refocusing, is that for this team we need to kind of step back and see hey, we still got things to play for. Not let this game affect the rest of our season. We got to finish out strong.
How do you, I don't know, as a captain, maybe make sure the rest of the team is doing that this week in practice and not reverting back to maybe the way things might have been the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing for us is just going at it every day like we had throughout the rest of the season. I think that, even though the outcome wasn't what we wanted against Miami, we prepared as well as I think we could have. So it's just about coming every day with a workman's mentality and just kind of just reiterating to all the guys that, look, this is still a special season. We can still do a lot of things with it.
Greer, BK said just yesterday that you guys learned a lot on Saturday night. What's something that you learned that's also maybe applicable the rest of the season, whether it's this weekend at Stanford or wherever bowl game you play in?
Yeah, I think that at a high stage, especially being in Miami, there's a lot of external factors that came into that game, whether that being how loud it was, whether it's coming in on the buses, just seeing all their different fans. It's kind of, as a team, we need to learn how to kind of get rid of those external factors and just focus on what's important, that's winning.
Is it a situation where there was enough going on around that game that I think you guys used the term optimal zone, that very few guys were actually in the optimal zone?
Yeah, I think that, there's a lot of hype that goes around that game, all week. We saw it all over ESPN, and so that also goes into it. But I think that, what I was just saying, goes back to the point that as a team, we got to learn that, if we're going to be playing in the future in those high-stake games, that we got to channel all that out and just focus on what's important.
And I want to ask you just something X's and O's related. Miami had a lot of success with quarterback draw on Saturday. What did they do to have some success there? Was that more about maybe you guys getting your eyes distracted? Could you sort of take me in that aspect of the game?
Yeah, so QB draws, obviously, especially from the second level, it's a tough play to defend just because we're getting back in our pass drops, trying to man up routes, whatever it may be. And then when he took off running, I think that we just weren't ready for it. And I think that as the game went on, we got better and better at it, but it definitely is a difficult play to defend.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Anything else for Greer? All right. Thank you.
Yeah.